To really be intelligent, it means to transcend intelligence in a way. It means that you have this thing about you that no matter how much you know or how much truth you know or how powerful your mind is, that you can still detach from it. I want to do a message on how intelligent people are not happy. How that it is true that intelligence is causing your unhappiness. I know this to be true because I've always considered myself to be curious about life. Because I knew in a way, deeply, that if I could understand life, then I could have anything that I wanted. That if I understood life, that I could find out why I'm feeling how I'm feeling. Why does life feel like such a puzzle? Ever since I was young, it's like you're not fitting in. If you are more conscious, it is much more difficult because it's almost as if you are maybe an older kid, like 9, 10, and you are being placed around 3 and 4-year-olds who don't really have the same level of comprehension, the same level of understanding. So in this way, you will find yourself suffering because it is very easy to demonize people when you are intelligent. When you can see through veils, when you can see through love, you can really see, that's another thing, is you can really see when people love you, when you're conscious. You can really see the true way that they love you, or if they don't love you. Which we know that love is ultimately an illusion once you've transcended it. Because you know that they're not necessarily loving you. They're loving what they need from you. And I realized this at a very young age. Just being any type of popular with women or anything conscious or unconscious, they'll treat you like a king. And this girl was treating me very well, and something within me allowed me to see that, hey, she loves me unconditionally. She's the only person who will do anything without any question or anything like that. But I was still able to see through that and see that, wait, maybe she wasn't doing it for her. Maybe this place of her love is coming from a place of her own needs that she has instead of how good she's treating me. So we think love is how good people are treating you, and even that should tell you that I called it unconditional love because she would do anything that I needed her to do for me. So it's going within, and when you are intelligent, it makes it easy for you to demonize people. Yes, it makes it very, very easy for you to demonize, let's say, someone in the Matrix or someone in society, or someone who is unconscious. So you have to be aware and compartmentalize these issues about yourself while you're growing your mind, while you're being and living this experience as a conscious, intelligent being. I would demonize the boss at work or the landlord. I actually did that. Your mind will tell you, because she's coming to get the rent every month, I'm like, she's on my ass. Literally, she's a part of the system, she's a demon. So you have to understand and compartmentalize these people who are unconscious. They just haven't found the will and the effort or the need to seek past the veil. So it's not like the landlord is doing this. She's actually a nice lady, but I know the game that's being played. I know she's just getting. It's endless genealogy that I don't want to be a part of. But she doesn't know that. So we have to build a space in our mind of compassion in a sense, and show these people what true love, or a deeper level of what true love could be on a conscious level. And this is why it's so hard to love them, even when you feel that they are so blind. You feel like they haven't done any necessary work to answer any questions about life. So, with the intelligent mind, many people are depressed, even famous artists, and commit suicide. And I believe that it's because they are so focused on, their mind is so powerful, they are building structures in their mind that they can literally live in. That we live in these places, and more than a visual, sometimes it's a feeling. So while people are resting and sleep in their mind and blind, we are constantly constructing a reality inside of our own mind to transcend the world, to be progressive, to see things in another way. We even do it with work. So if I'm a famous artist and I'm intelligent too, because all artists are intelligent, then I may have built my whole entire mental construct and faculties around being a great, or being an artist, or being successful, or giving to the people that I love. Many men have just failed to, and women of intelligence have failed to build a compartment of peace inside of the working mind. So there's so much going on. There's everything up here in full power and full stride, except for the grounding that they need, except for the compartment of peace that they need in their soul. So you have to be very careful not to demonize people, although you see that they have spirits in them that are working. And furthermore, this channel is all solution based. So the solution would be, in this case, working around unconscious people, or people who are not at the level of understanding. You feel as if you're playing with kids. You'll have to begin to channel your life force energy better. So if you are a certain level of consciousness, knowing that you are conscious, but you still have to work in society, you still have to pay bills, you still have to be in relationship with people, then you are learning to optimize. You're living a life of optimization now. Now that you have a clean slate, now that you are conscious moving through life. See, a lot of people will be on here, especially telling their awakening story, and it's like, bro, we get that you're one with the cosmos, you dissolved your being, and you're at peace, and you live in total bliss, and you're able to let go. Yeah. So if you are awakening and conscious, if you are on a certain level, you may be past that. So sometimes it gets frustrating to hear stories that don't invite and offer practicality about life. Because telling somebody that you are awakened and you are in blissful state and that they could just let go too, it's still like, bro, well, what do I do now? What do I do now that I am conscious? I still live in a world where there are bills. I still live in a world where they are demanding my energy. I still live in a world where people are just totally unconscious, and I feel alone. That's the thing with intelligence as well. This is why you'll be feeling in solitude and alone. So what I really mean to say is that even when you are awakened and then you find out that you want to escape all the things that they're forcing you to do. So in the middle of your awakening and just all the things that they want you to do, you're using your whole intelligence to find out the way to escape. And there may not be a way yet to fully escape, but even if you are partially escaped, that's better than not being free at all, even in your own mind. You'll always want to seek because your brain is powerful, and so the seeker turns on inside of your brain, and you'll always want to seek for that answer. This is what I was talking about, like just growing up, always knowing that I would survive, knowing that I would find a way out if I was ever trapped and this and that. That sense of, yeah, I got this. Like, I trust myself with my life. Can also turn into a toxic, like, seeking for answers and destroying yourself. So always have those things under subjection. Like I said, even the seeker should be somewhere near that compartment of contentment and peace inside of your mind that you build. So yeah, just don't focus on way too many things, like just building your success and identities inside of your mind without having this compartment of peace as well. Being intelligent, you might find yourself being laughed at. Even if you are completely right, unconscious people will just laugh. They'll be like, you're stupid. They'll like gang up on you and start laughing at you. You might be perceived as lazy or unmotivated. I've had to deal with all these emotions, even with dealing with unconscious people who can't see that there's something going on in your life, that you are transforming and transcending the things of this world. So they'll perceive you as unmotivated, as pessimistic. So you must have this, it's like you must do this thing, you must go to work, you just must. You must keep going, you must do this, you must do that. But the truth of the matter is, the intellect knows that he needs space in his mind in order to grow himself or herself. So whether they are laughing at you, these are things that people are not telling you that comes along with the package. Whether you are, even if you are fit, even your own mind will try to convince you that you're unmotivated, that you lack potential, you lack the zeal about life. When really it's just the thing to where you are understanding that you're seeing how fucked up things are, or the things that are not in place that should be in place for us to live a successful reality or a more easy experience. Look, it's like there's any way to do it. I remember being in jail, and the food that they brought us, I was in there for about like 2 days. I was like, they're making this stuff disgusting on purpose. Like, there's anything you could have done better to this, like a little salt, anything you could have done, but they're doing it on purpose. And this is how the life that we're living in is set up. And for you to understand that will relieve you of a lot of the responsibility that you carry. Just because you're intelligent doesn't mean that you carry the entire world in your mind. So be prepared for the attacks of character that come along with being intelligent. And they're coming from normal people, like people who don't know shit. So if you were to take any criticism, do it from someone who knows, or advice, do it from someone who knows life or who is thinking like you or on your level of consciousness, for sure. But it's mostly the people who cannot get past and live with the fact that they know more than people. So it's pushed them away into a certain space of solitude. But as you are growing your mind, as you are becoming more powerful and intelligent, you need to be building and working on your own structures of your version of true unconditional love. When you know that has to be love, if you are around and can continue to be around and continue to show love to people who are not on the same conscious level as you, you're not looking down on them. When you become enlightened, nobody tells you this. They don't tell you that you suffer social disorder because you separated yourself from the world to figure out life. They're not telling you that your relationships will be more difficult in the end for you, and that you should make sure that you balance out, after you have had your space, that you balance out your commune with people, because people need people. So it doesn't take really much to make us happy in this life, except for the fact that we've been overloaded with so many toxic things and trauma, that we must have this compartment of peace built inside of ourselves. We must have this compartment of stillness. We must have this compartment of knowing, of greater understanding within us. I'm always writing things down, and it bugs me. It's just like becoming intelligent will make you seem pessimistic to the world. They'll say, oh, you're just being negative, but that's just because they're afraid to face the truth and go off of how they feel versus what they actually see. So getting to a place of optimization, instead of living a life of wasted energy and wasted life. And if you're intelligent, you're a prisoner. If you are dumb, you're a slave. And for those of us who are awakening and awakened, will still have to live in society, yeah? So people telling their awakening stories are still not giving solutions. So there really is no solution if all questions haven't been answered. So an intelligent mind it's confusing, yeah? Saying, I'm awakened, so I expected to be free. But you still have to learn how to live in this world. You still have to learn to get along with people that are not as conscious as you. To me, this has to be unconditional love, because you're dumber than me. I don't like this person. They're dumb. They don't know shit about life. Even your own mom, look, and it's justifiable, is the thing. But after your moment of solitude and pushing people away, you must come to rewrap yourself around the concept that we're social beings. And this truth remains. Tell me, I don't know why we are. I don't know why we really need other people, but we do. Knowing that it's not your job to bring these people to your awareness, you should question the fact that intelligence is the reason for unhappiness. And that we need to focus on compartmentalizing our peace while we're building up mental constructs of knowledge and beauty and visions of sovereignty. All these things that we hold can be very beautiful. But if you don't have a compartment of peace mixed into your mind, mixed into your soul, and just being okay, just having that compartment of contentment that many people with money and success and material wealth just don't have. Yes, you could have everything that you wanted in this world and still not be happy. So you also need to know that gaining more wisdom and more knowledge is not going to necessarily bring peace to your soul. Always seek a higher level of understanding, but always have a balance of self first. Always have a balance of, hey, it's good to use your mind. I think all day. Just like I was saying earlier, I write it down because we live in a life of forgettable moments. Somehow memories are being wiped, yeah? So I know that life and the mind has the capability to suppress and wipe memories. So I'm writing it down on a journey. Listen, if you were in a dream, you realized it was a dream, wouldn't you start asking questions? Wouldn't you be like, how did I get here? Or like, what is this about? How did all this come to be? Or even how do I escape it if I want to? So the people that are unconscious, the people that we encounter on a daily basis, listen, it's not easy because it's like 99% of the world, bro. They're just not thinking of these things that you are thinking of. By now you are so far in. If you are like me, you are so far into the compounds of your mind and thoughts and compounded time of you just thinking, just being alone, that you know you are very powerful and you are in the 1%. And it's why you feel secluded. So seeking a higher vibration in other people is also important, as well as channeling your energy for optimization and having that compartment of peace inside of your soul. To really be intelligent, it means to transcend intelligence in a way. It means that you have this thing about you that no matter how much you know or how much truth you know or how powerful your mind is, that you can still detach from it. You can still detach from it all. There's this thing that's like a great quote that says, just leave your mind at the shore and basically go play in the ocean and live life at moments. Sometimes you will have to just leave your mind at the shore. And having dominion over a powerful mind is not easy. There's totally an eagle in the tree. So these are the signs and synchronicities that you could base off of in an illusion, but it is my choice just to feel the eagle. It's rare to see that just sitting in the tree so powerful. And to me, it's a message in my reality that I'm doing the right thing now. That I am speaking the right words and speaking the words from heart. Knowing the pain that we endure is not easy. It's not your fault the way the world is and the way that the world is going, because I'll tell you this, I know that I've done music and art, great works, great things. You just pour your heart into something, especially if you're a passionate person, if you're an intelligent person, because you know you want to look back on life with that thing that you overcame, that you let nothing stop you. Yeah. Things happen to people in this world who are not doing anything wrong. I think that's what we should know as well. Things happen to innocent people in the form of they don't even know why they are the way that they are, but they just are. Just as you don't know why you're so fucking intelligent. You're so conscious. And no one else around you is. Admitting that there's things that you may not know, but standing firm on the fact that you will seek a higher truth and that you will have a stable mind, a compartment of peace that you can see constructed in your mind that you can go to, rebuild it, add to it. But denying that the world is fucked up that's an illusion in itself, man. Like, and sometimes it feels like being around little kids. So my form of unconditional love would then be to still love them. Why? Because I don't need them for anything. You no longer need. I just got wisdom too that from a video that your problem is that you are on a certain conscious level, but your problem is that you've been going to people who are not as conscious as you, not as intelligent as you for answers. Think about that. And so they could never give you what you need, the truth you need. Basically building a spirit of contentment, with the fact that what if you were there's a concept of solipsism as well that says that what if you're the only conscious mind on the planet, in the universe? And sometimes it feels like that way, like question things. What if you were the only conscious being on this planet? It's not to belittle anybody and say that everyone else is unconscious. It's to put yourself in a state of contentment. That, hey, these people they may not ever get it. To me, that's freeing, and it's gonna free your mind to. Some people say it's selfish, like to think that you're the only conscious being too, but to me, it offers a sense of freedom to not be responsible for anyone else's consciousness or not suffer until I come upon people who are like-minded. Because that's what we need. We need a life suitable for ourselves, and it's always been this sense of, for me, in life, it's always been this sense of trying to fit a puzzle piece, like this big piece, into this space, and it's just not fitting. It's just not fitting. So there's something wrong here. And on top of that, you're around people that don't see it, and that adds to what is wrong in your mind. So developing these concepts that just free your mind, these visualizations, hey, that's powerful. For me to just envision for 1 second that I'm the only conscious mind, it's not to have power. It's to take your power back from expecting the world to be as you are, to think as you do. You can share your awakening story and being one with the cosmos as much as you'd like, but it's really not solution based. You're really kind of, in a way, just spoiling it for the people who haven't had it. You're like, oh, this is bliss. I walked around just like crying and shit. Like, bro, you're ruining it for them. You're ruining their awakening. Now they'll experience it and they'll just feel like it's nothing special too, because it can't even be their special moment. And then there are deeper people who have deeper questions. I understand that there are surface level people who need just to know about awakening, but how helpful is it? But us being conscious, we know how helpful it is to think in a form and base of inverted knowledge. To think as if up or down always. To think that it's possible for this life in this realm to be a dream. Really gives you your power back. Not to say that you're in control of the dream, but it is in fact a dream. So then how real are things? How important things are? This is about freeing your soul and really enlightening yourself with truth. I mean, what runs through my mind is all the condemnation that I've even put myself through during this journey of something that I didn't even choose, which is being intelligent, being curious about life. You think it's an inherent quality, but it's clearly not. Everyone doesn't have that thing in them to do this. Everyone does not have the capacity or strength in their life, soul force to just pursue this. So just thinking about all the condemnation is and hurt that you put yourself through just for being intelligent. So I'm here to let you know that it's not your fault. It's never been your fault how this world was set up. It's not your job to fix it. It's not your job to fix others. It's your job to continue to grow. Channel your energy in a way that is most productive for your life, because this is, in fact, a better life. One great thing is that you can now live a life that is, although it's still not right, the things in the world are still not right, and you've awakened. Now you can live a life where you're channeling your energy with your best efforts, your most conscious efforts. Even if you have to work, now you only have to work for a year or two just to go get some land and do what you have to do to set yourself up in a better situation. Versus people who are unaware and are literally living a life of falsehood and lies because they go off of what feels better to them versus what's real and what's true. Another thing is that intelligence is realness. Intelligence is you really just being as real as you can be about this reality. You say, oh, he's a real nigga, he's a real this and that, but is he on that truth though? That is a huge ego. I'll have to show you if I can. Yeah, so don't blame yourself. No, it's not gonna let me zoom in. No. At least you can hear them though, yeah? That is so powerful. It's rare to have that ego just come into your presence like that, but they know too. You're just more in touch with the fact that something's off here. You're more in touch with the fact that you're solution-based. This is what a practical mind is and a rational mind is. It's solution-based. So versus working around endless genealogies, like religion and spirituality, you learn to balance them out and use the wisdom from these to become practical. So your awakening story, yeah, it's not helping as much as you think it is. Yeah, more or less just seems like you're bragging that you've been awakened, which is the ego taking a higher stance in itself too. I'll admit, there's even a time where I'm vulnerable enough to just sit and watch that video, awakening story or something now too, but except for pointing them in a way to another point on their journey. And you're basically saying this is it, this is the last destination, but that's not it, yeah? We still need answers to live practical. And no matter how intelligent you are, an important thing is knowing that you may not know everything that you should know. Answers are coming. I would just suggest that you continue to grow your mind, continue to see how it's benefited your life, continue to looking at unconscious people are it's always an opportunity to reflect and just to see how far you've come. Even being around them it's always just a reminder. Yeah, you're like, oh shit, I used to be like that, like I used to do that shit too. At first you're like, man, this is disgusting, low vibes, yeah? But then you really just always train your mind to think, you're like, yeah, bro, remember, like, you used to do some shit too. That is just crazy. That you're like, dang. I can't believe I did that shit. So I want to say that, you know, it helps on every level. It's not like you shouldn't give your awakening story, but remember, like, people deeper are going to have more answers, and it's important for you to know that you're going to want more answers, and it's important for you to learn how to flow with this and learn how to simplify things. And because if not, then you end up in the position of that artist who really just, ended life. Love yourself, continue to seek a higher truth. Because that one that you found is always just, there's something else too, because it's infinite. But I've always had this sense of me triumphing and rising and even escaping, surviving this reality on top. Continue to play with these visions and note that it's okay to trick the mind as well. That's the last thing. Like, people are like, don't lie to yourself, but if you think about your egoic mind, it has like tricked you your entire life almost into a life that you didn't even want, into suffering that you didn't even want or ask for, because it's lied like deceitfully. Might say you're not doing enough. Anytime it could do this. It might say that you ain't shit because you don't have money. Anytime it can do this, you need to understand that. So for you to play a trick on your own mind, it's not like you lying to yourself, okay? You will know that you're just lying to yourself a little bit, but the subconscious mind has no idea. The subconscious mind will just take it as truth. Even that concept right there, if you were to bring that up to someone in a lower conscious vibration, they would be like, what the fuck did he say? So yeah, it's like being around 3 and 4 year olds sometimes, but you are strong enough already in your mind to overcome and transcend even intelligence. Because this is the position of power in your life, not when you have control over one thing like spirituality or just like awakening. You need practicality and you need peace, you need love. It's not a lot of things that you need, but so many things have come to pull you away. I guess these eagles and hawks just want to speak today as well. So I'm grateful for their vibrations. I'm grateful for your vibrations. Continue to just be peaceful. Just because you've transcended and awakened doesn't mean that you're powerless because you have to go get a job or because you have to still provide for yourself in the ways that they're imputing. Because like I said earlier, if you're intelligent, you're a prisoner. They'll have to force you. But if you're ignorant, you're a slave. They don't even need to force you to do shit. You've domesticated yourself, and that's the worst place to be in. Continue to arise, continue to awaken your soul, and who can stop the sun? And so, even after I stopped recording, I just was looking at the eagle in the tree. And how I was saying how it's just such a beautiful eagle. It's powerful. God sent it to me. I'm noticing the hawks flying around it, just swooping in over it, and they're pestering it. And I noticed the eagle has food. And then I thought to myself, he probably just stole from their nest, like big old bird, just taking even. The hawk is big compared to other birds. But this eagle that I'm looking at right now is the size of a dog, and he's literally knocking off huge branches up there that he's eating. And I'm thinking like he probably has one of the hawk's babies, like he probably stole from their nest, and he's just fucking this thing up on the branch, like ripping it apart. And they just have to watch. Like, they can't do anything. They're powerless. And it reminds you that you're not in control of this world, and it's not your fault what's going on. You have no idea why that thing was programmed to just rip a baby apart. You have no idea why you just saw it as a beautiful, like, majestic thing until you saw the darker side of it. So to me, it is still beautiful because I'm on just a different level of consciousness, but it just goes to show you that it's not your fault how the world is, and being conscious is better than being fucking stupid. even though they act like ignorance is bliss and that they're happy and things like that, like, you might be happy to a certain extent, but you'll never know. Like, I'm starting to think just contentment is really the real happiness. Like, if you're able to be cool with how things are, that's the definition of happiness. And the new definition of unconditional love for me as well has transformed into just loving people who are unconscious, or that I consider to be less conscious than me, instead of looking down on them too. Powerful.